Greetings. We're the Dreadies. We're playing DreadLore, a tabletop role-playing game system that focuses on immersive and cooperative storytelling. DreadLore is a setting-agnostic game system, so you can play many different genres and settings with it. This is our campaign, The Red Writ. Woo! Imagine Detroit 1982. Some weird things are going on, but only a few people are seeing it. A small group of people, our players, have found themselves in the middle of it. An ancient horror, the unknown, a twisted fate. This is written so well. Something within each of them compels them to search on for the truth, even if that means the worst. Join us as we discover the truth of the Red Writ. Media production is by Couchfire Media. That's Sexy Intro. Music is by all lowercase letters and Mr. Interrupt. Want to try out DreadLore? We'll talk about it later. You can go to the official website, dreadlore.com. That's Dread, L-O-R-E. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Hey, Hulker, who's our sponsor for tonight? Unmuted? Is that what it is?
We're sponsored by money.
Yeah?
Yep.
Like just a dollar sign or
Any
money? Like the ruble?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We're going to talk about the players and their characters. So I'd like you guys to introduce yourselves as well as your character briefly. We'll start with Drizzle.
I'm Simon Vincent. I'm a hard-boiled detective. Used to be with the police force, but something happened to my partner. I took early retirement and have been a PI ever since.
Go on to Ken.
I am Nord Zetterberg. Well, I'm not, but this character that I'm playing, this human sort of experience of a being that likes to go around in a delusional world of mayhem and insanity. He's a journalist, and some might call him a drug addict, but I wouldn't. He's fine. He's normal. It's the 80s. You just do. You just go.
Hulker.
My character's name is Tony Czerniak. He is a former priest who is now a border guard at the Canadian border. And in his time, he makes life slightly more inconvenient for Canadians when he is awake.
Indeed. So our other player is Andrea. Would someone like to describe Andrea's character? I'm going to throw it at Drizzle for this one.
Andrea is Leah Mizrahi, is an IDF, a former IDF soldier. She retired when she had a kid and came to the United States to raise her child, who's kind of a little brat. She hired me to find her an apartment, and now she found out that maybe her husband's having an affair. Uh-oh.
Indeed. Right. Hey, Lil Gotham, what's up? We're going to do a quick recap of Session 4 as written by the illustrious Mr. DJ No-Fly. In the aftermath, I'm not going to read the whole thing. In the aftermath of a close encounter with a potential assault on a teenager, Simon, Tony, and Nord narrowly avoid trouble with the police and successfully de-escalate a tense situation involving Annabelle. That's not completely true, but we're going to go with it. Nord becomes frustrated and contemplates leaving, but he's advised by Leah about the dangers that children can pose. Nord is disturbed by Annabelle's behavior. Specifically talking about Annabelle Annabelle's witchy behavior. Simon conducts an investigation atop Bald Hill Cemetery, finds an interesting headstone of Orestes Brownson, who is a French and Native American, or was buried in a French and Native American cemetery. He's got a close call with a stone that was either hurled from the sky or from elsewhere. Heard unusual sounds from the trees, and in fact actually bid to be able to hear footfalls at the bottom of the hill running away. Tony had become uneasy as he was investigating Annabelle's house, and he saw this weird statue with this odd bowl filled with what he was afraid was blood. He tasted it nonetheless. And about that time, it's very early in the morning, sun rises, it's a new day. Leah ventures into Annabelle's backyard, finds the same statue. This is after Tony and, what's his name, Nord, they had actually gone into the backyard to go after Annabelle. This is Annabelle's backyard. And they had both gotten spooked, so they left. So Leah needs to go find her daughter, who had followed Annabelle. Leah goes in and is messing with that same statue, only to also taste what's inside this big bowl. About that time, she heard this thunderous voice in her own mind say these words, Malhalla Revulo. She has no idea what it means. She continues on, encounters her daughter Mariah and Annabelle, and they all have breakfast in Annabelle's house. Annabelle expresses her concern about her friend Gabby or Gabriella. The group has been tasked by a detective Idaway to help find Gabriella. Detective Idaway thinks that Gabriella might be in danger of being murdered as part of the 12-year murders that have been going on for the last century or so, or maybe even longer. The group basically finds out that Annabelle thinks that Gabriella probably ran away from home. Tony and Nord are out front. This is in a very rich neighborhood, and they had an altercation with a very confrontational Karen who demands they leave the neighborhood. And later on, the entire gang meets back up at the fancy diner. They convince the waitress who's always there, Eunice, to tell them more about what's been going on. They've decided to go to a place called the Hideaway Jazz Club and speak with someone, a singer named Levi. Supposedly, there are equinox masquerade parties and solstice masquerade parties that go on with the super rich. Specifically, a woman named Lady Callie will be there, and that might be somehow involved. At that time, a massive thunderstorm hits Detroit. There have been several thunderstorms as of late. A torrential downpour occurs. Simon's examining a dossier and uncovers that some of the victims of these 12-year murders, many of them were women, in particular within a subculture to the occult. Nord, is it Nord? There's something dealing with the Illuminati. They have a whole lot of ideas. It's about this time that this drunkard, the group has actually seen before but probably forgot, bursts into the diner, grabs a hold of Leah, shaking her. Simon punches the drunkard in the face.
I didn't punch the drunkard.
Oh, Tony did. Who punched him?
It was Tony. Tony and Leah did.
Tony and then Leah. I thought it was Simon. Oh, whatever.
Yeah, no.
They punch him in the face. The guy runs off, and Tony and Nord pursue the assailant.
Doesn't Leah pursue him too?
Because
I'm left. I was left with.
3 seconds. Ads coming up. Yes, that's what happened. We're about to start.
Is William? Was that William Tibbetts?
That was William Tibbets. Well done.
So it was. Okay.
Yep. That was William Tibbets. Right. Let me get back to our thing. Whew, yeah. It's an interesting. We're on an ad right now. It's an interesting summary, but it's way too long to read it at the beginning.
Sure.
I also didn't realize there were jokes in there. Yeah.
Yeah, great
anyway.
summary.
That's why you read the copy before and then make it your own.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. I'd like to get that down to like 30 seconds, but
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
We were in like 5 different places last episode.
Kind of.
Before that, we were in like 1, maybe 2 places.
Yeah. I mean, that's not actually true. You were at Annabelle's house and then you went to the diner.
Yeah, but we went to Tony's and.
I guess you did. I guess there's yeah. Anyway, that's what happened. We'll start back up when we'll actually start when this ad break ends, which is a minute.
I know. I got his ads here. I got a minute left for sure.
Yeah, I think it's. I have it down to. There's too much going on in my brain right now.
Choose your hero.
All right, so is everybody good with the recap thus far?
Yep.
Sweet.
Because everybody took off and left me with the girl in the booth by myself. Me and the girl.
With Mariah. Yeah.
Yeah, Mariah. I'm babysitter now.
Masquerade Ball is called Belgrove.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's the community.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, the spooky spring equinox Wednesday. Adams.
Oh, we have 3 seconds till the ad's over. A strangitude occurs as most of you, I like that segue, as most of you run out of the fancy diner, leaving poor Simon and Mariah in there. Eunice has come out of the back, the waitress Eunice, and hearing the commotion, wondering if you all have dipped on the bill. She looks over, sees you, Simon, and puts one of her hands on her hips, cocks her head knowingly, and smiles at you. Doesn't say anything, just knowing you would never leave her high and dry. The action is on you, Simon. What are you doing?
Not again. Eunice, I'll cover it all. This is going in Idaway's expenses.
That's this Idaway. I don't know how much money he's got. Isn't he just a cop?
Well,
I mean, this is the 80s after all.
I know, but this is... most of them had just had coffee. It's not that bad. Who knows? If we find this DuPont girl, maybe we'll get a little reward from them as well.
As you say, DuPont, Eunice kind of frowns. Her face softens a little bit. Do you think you'll actually find her?
There's a high chance that we will.
How long has she been gone?
It's been about a week or so, I think.
Mm.
But the difference is that she may have left of her own accord. She may not have been taken.
Eunice kind of looks around. I think I described there were people in here eating their breakfast. As you guys are talking rather openly, we'll say there's a couple islands of people, maybe 5 people in here, and they've all stopped and they're looking over. As they realize you guys have stopped talking, they go back to what they were doing. Mariah is sitting there elbows on the counter or on the table. She's sitting Seiza position, up on her knees, and is leaning forward. So, what happens next? She says.
Well, we'll give your mom a few minutes, and if she doesn't show back up, I may take you to that hotel that you were telling me your father frequents.
You see, this 10, 11-year-old that you're talking with, sitting across from you, as maybe it strikes you, despite her being, by American standards, very, very young, she acts much older. Perhaps it's, because her and her mom fled a country, maybe she's just seen a lot of life. Who knows? She's clearly rather smart, and definitely a smart ass. As she kind of just gives you this duck lips look. Hey, Eunice, can I get some more coffee? As Eunice guffaws and goes and gets the globe coffee and does the thing. Do you do anything else?
No, not right now.
Move.
If there is any blood on the table or on the booth, I'll kind of wipe it up with some napkins.
Tell me high or low?
Low.
Do you want there to be or not?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Either way,
we'll say low.
No.
And it is high. As you look down, and in fact you see this spray of blood across the table and a piece of a tooth in your lap.
Okay, so I'll reach over and get the napkin thing, and I'll start wiping up the blood, and I'll take it and actually take it over to the trash and throw it away. I won't leave it there for Eunice to get. But the tooth, I'm going to take a napkin and wrap the tooth up in it, and I'll stick it in one of my shirt pockets.
Missing a piece of teeth. As you do, Mariah, you hear her go, ew. In the rain. So Leah, who is not here, she's NPC'd, just to remind you guys about the rules for player characters that are NPCs. You get 2 bids for them, so long as they're around. Normal NPCs, you only get 1. Anyway, Leah, Nord, Tony, you burst out into the streets. The torrential downpour is coming down. The streets are flooding. There's so much rain, the gutters and sewage system can't handle it all at once. You see detritus flowing like a river down the way. What are you all doing? Oh, it's cold rain, by the way. Like the kind of rain that takes your breath away when it hits you.
Funny. We're going to catch this guy, right? Do we see him?
No. You jump out into the torrential rain and are assailed by torrential rain.
We're lucky if we can see each other.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're not utterly blinded, but, water's... Have you ever been in rain? It's like that.
Nord gets paid to pay attention. So, he's a shooter, so he's got this peripheral vision that is beyond the average person, I would imagine.
Oh, I see.
And so he's going to look for some movement as a shooter. Because he's probably shot some horses or some,
just to qualify, when Ken says shooter, he's not referring to guns.
He's a photographer.
I shoot horses all the time.
He's a photographer.
Indeed. So is that what you bid?
Yeah, I would like to bid that.
Okay. As you do, you catch down. I'm trying to not say and and it's not working. I can't refrain. You see about a block down the way, in the shadows, in the rain. Despite it being morning, the storm clouds make it look like it's evening. You see a dark figure cloaked in this ratty raincoat or trench coat duck into, goddamn it, a alleyway. The sound is a roar from the rain and the puddles going. What are y'all doing? Nor do you see that?
Right. This way.
Okay.
Let's go.
This way.
As you...
No. What do you mean?
Hoof it. Go on. Tell your joke. Tell your joke.
I didn't have a joke.
You didn't have a joke?
No. Why do you think I always have a joke? Anyways, hey, yeah, let's go down the alleyway. Catch him.
Okay. Excuse me, I have a huge gummy bear in my mouth. Indeed. As you duck down the alleyway, you hear the clamor of trash cans and such falling. It is gross in here. You see rats skittering about, trying to get out of the rain. The smell is pungent. And somehow, much further than you would have expected this guy to be able to run. He's almost at the other end of the alleyway, 100 some odd feet down the way. There's this stereotypical chain link fence. It's very high. You see him run into, as he starts climbing it, howling above the rain. The buildings, this is like a Batman movie. The buildings are tall. You've got the doors on either side. You've got the fire escapes and stuff. Someone's popping their head out from the second or third floor like, what's going on down there? That kind of shit. As you guys start running up. So here's what you can do. He's going to get over that fence before you get there. How are you going to get there first?
Can I use a trait?
Yeah.
I'm going to do a vagabond, and when you're running away, you're dodging stuff, and when you're a vagabond, you run away from a lot of things. So I feel like I could probably keep up with this guy because at the very least, and maybe my grace.
You don't need to throw. You don't need to throw down. As you read vagabond, Tony, you see Nord with his just long, spindly legs hurdle jump over all these bags and detritus of trash and hoof it at an incredible speed through the rain. Are you running as well, or how are you going to get there? Or are you just going to trail behind?
I'm going to trail behind because is Simon next to me? Simon?
I'm still in the diner.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm going to trail behind. I'd shoot the guy, but he'd probably turn into a zombie like the other. So not going to do that. There's no point. So yeah, I'll trail behind and try and climb the fence.
All right. Leah is also falling behind. You're not really sure why, but perhaps, Tony, you get the sense that she's realized she's left her daughter in a diner with a guy she kind of barely knows. As she sort of stops running, she gets to a jog and is really questioning what she should be doing. It's likely she's going to turn around. Nord, you get up to the fence. You are going at an incredible rate. It's like when you're running so fast, you wonder mid-stride, how am I running this fast? 1. And 2, are my knees going to give out at when? As you slam into this chain link fence, clang. William Tibbetts is at the top. You see him holding on for dear life as his body swack, swack hits the fence. We'll see if he falls. I'll have one of you roll. Simon. No. Simon, will you roll me a D10 and I believe, a D8.
A D10 and a D8. Okay. Yep. Ooh. No successes on one die, but a 10 on the D10. So 2 successes in flair.
Well, lucky for you, antagonists don't get flair. Nord, you see he barely hangs on, but as he does, he cuts himself on the fence. Blood spills down onto you. As you see William Tibbetts look down, his eyes wild, bloodshot through his the stubble now has just become this bushy kind of straggle beard. Blood is spilling out of his mouth where he got punched in the face, and you see he's missing half of a tooth. Leave me alone, as he says, and he tries to clamber up and over. As he's doing this, you see he kicks his legs up and just falls on the other side. Mechanic time. So you guys know, you're technically not in rounds, but at any point, if you're like, hey, I see what he's doing, I want to go first, you can spend cunning, then you're in rounds and you go at the same time, or you go before the bad guy. So I've described that happening. You could be like, I drop cunning to stop him from doing that, if you want.
I'm just going to keep chasing after him. I'll climb the fence. But I probably not recklessly like he did. I'll try and keep up. I mean, he didn't go after me, so it's just like I'm going after him, but everybody else is sort of, I've noticed that I'm alone here, so.
Indeed. Simon is not there. Tony is Adam way. Behind you a good 50, 80 feet. You see, he doesn't want to get into the trash as he's carefully going around it. And as you might turn around, you see Leah has actually gone back to the corner of the alley in the main street. She's probably going to leave. You see William Tibbetts getting himself up. He hit the ground with a sick thud. You might wonder, did he break something? As he groans, you start climbing. Carefully, it's very slick. You note at the top of this chain link fence, there's actually barbed wire.
Oh shit!
And there's blood and some other stuff up there too. Where
I'm good on the barbed wire. I might stop and just say something to him.
What do you say? He's getting up and is looking at you wild-eyed.
William, stop! What do you want?
What do you bid?
I have an ability called Counterpoint. Can I do that?
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to. He said, what did he say earlier? He's like, why are you running after me? Why did you attack? He attacked Leah. Why did you attack Leah?
He turns, as you say that, it somehow maybe gets through to his brain. Maybe he's high, maybe, who knows. As you say it, his eyes kind of stabilize for a second. He picks himself up. He comes close to the fence, hands, fingers going through the chain. where he could almost whisper something to you if you let him.
Yeah.
Well, as you get close. And he goes with just this alcohol breath and mixed with blood and garbage. He says, I was the champ. Ah! And then he turns and runs.
You're not the champ now, buddy.
You hear him hooting and hollering, I was the champ! Woo! As he kicks over something and keeps on running out the other end of the alleyway. How are y'all doing?
I say, look, I ain't getting cut up on that barbed wire for him. Someone else is going to pick him up.
Yeah, I climbed back down the couple of links that I climbed. It's like, yeah, it's not. I'm not going to do this.
You can sign call the jail in the next 12 hours to see if he ended up there, which might actually happen.
Sure.
Do either one of you remember, or any of you remember what he said when he came into the diner?
It's been a while. It's been a week. I mean, it feels like a week. I am pretty hungover as Nord, so. He said, I could pull it up. Take me a minute.
As you do that, maybe trying desperately to remember, what in the hell was this guy there for? You guys are, you have a little bit of cover from the rain, but you're absolutely soaked at this point. What are y'all doing? Leah has gone back, as far as you know.
Well, let's go back to the diner.
Yeah, we got to go somewhere else. Just hopefully not down an alleyway.
You'll note.
Sure. Don't get it wrong. I'll push him again if I see him, but.
You'll note, Nord, as you start to turn, that William Tibbetts' wide-brimmed Carmen Sandiego hat, that big fedora, is laying there on this side of the chain link.
I'm gonna take that hat.
Yeah, you take that hat. It's a good hat. Seems waterproof. There it is. Okay. Prepared. Simon, you're sitting there with Mariah. Maybe a minute has passed, and you see Leah shielding herself as she is walking back. She comes back into the diner. Her skin is completely soaked. Her hair's, even though it's tied back, is just completely drenched. As maybe even like her makeup is streaming down. She looks a wreck. As her and her daughter share a very knowing look. They don't say anything. Mariah just looks at her mother disapprovingly.
It's a good thing you came back. I was about to take your daughter to that hotel that she told us about.
Oh, no, you're not going to have to do that. I'm going myself.
Hey, well, make sure you pay your tab with Eunice before you get out of here.
Yeah. As she looks over at Mariah, you see her considering something. And then she looks at you. She looks back at her daughter. She's really struggling with an idea here. Simon, would you be willing? She kind of trails off.
Willing to what?
To watch Mariah while I go deal with this. As you hear Mariah go, oh, come on.
Do not see I'll watch her, but you know what I'm getting into. And also, it's not for free.
Her eyes flash at you. Of course not. I wonder how safe she'll be.
She can be as safe with me as she is with you. I won't put her in harm's way.
It's about that time that Nord, you, and Tony come in. As Leah's standing still at the door, you may feel like you just walked into an awkward situation, especially since the other 5 customers in the fancy are looking over at Leah, Simon, and Mariah. Action's on you all.
What's going on?
First off, you guys need to pay up your tabs with Eunice over here. And you may not want to, you may want to kind of ring out before you come in here. You're tripping all over the place.
Eunice comes out with a mop. Indeed.
My apologies, Eunice. What do I owe?
She tells you.
I pay up with a tip. With a tip, a whole $1.
A whole $1?
Yeah.
I thought this was on your account.
Whatever you have arranged, that's between you and her.
Okay, so you guys get to decide. Does Leah leave Mariah with you or not?
I'm not a babysitter.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I mean, I can watch her. She may. So we have 2 nights until the night that we're supposed to talk to Levi, right? Yeah.
Well,
so,
no.
2 nights till Equinox.
Right. Till the actual masquerade.
Okay.
So is it Sunday or Monday?
I honestly can't remember.
So we have to get ready for a masquerade.
Yeah. The day of the week actually doesn't matter. What does matter is you have 2 days before the equinox.
Well, as long as you come and get her before we have to go to the nightclub, I'm okay watching her. She may be able to help us if we need to talk to Annabelle again.
Yeah, we're supposed to meet Annabelle. Do we know we're supposed to meet Annabelle after she gets out of school?
Yes, Leah told us that.
Yeah, I would say that if Mariah's with us, we'd probably have better luck. I mean, we're just a bunch of dudes hanging out with a strange teenager. At least we have some connection, right?
You check this out.
I don't know any of you guys, so.
Yeah, this is like that
movie.
But... This is like that movie that's coming out, 3 Men and the Little Lady. Gosh.
Is this the vernal or autumnal equinox?
So I just looked it up, Holker. I beat you to it. In 1982, the equinox, the spring equinox, was on March 20th on a Saturday. So, it's Thursday morning.
Thursday morning.
Yep, right. So all day Thursday, all day Friday, then murder time. Maybe.
Is it still storming outside?
Yeah. Yeah. Storm doesn't let up, baby. Keeps on keeping on. Okay, it's up to you guys. You guys are the players. You have to decide who's in your party.
I'm good with watching her.
All right, well, all I need. As Leah has considered it, and she looks over at you, Simon, and says, "How much do you want?"
But if this is just going to be for today, like 15, 20.
Fine. And she pulls out 5, 10, 15, 20 and hands it over to you. You note as she leans over and gives it to you, she looks at Mariah and says, "Children are not cheap." She turns and leaves. "I'll meet up with you all later. I have to go deal with my husband." You hear a couple of the guests go, "Ooh." And she walks out to go catch the bus.
Hey. All right, no, go ahead.
Did you get on the bus after what happened?
I mean, she didn't announce it. She didn't go, "I'm going to go catch the bus." But
Okay.
So I'm going to look at Mariah, and I'm going to be like, okay, here's the deal. I'm going to shoot it straight with you. I'm going to treat you like an adult. If I tell you to do something so you don't get hurt, listen to me. Other than that, we're both adults here, and that's how I'll treat you.
But that's not what the other adults do.
Well, that's how I'm doing it. So I'm being honest with you, so that way when I tell you to be careful, it's so you don't get hurt.
What do you bid?
I will bid strong.
As you bid strong, telling her this, you can tell that explaining it to her, maybe this works. You wonder about how you grew up, how about, people raise kids and spare the rod, spoil the child. You wonder, in the future, will this sort of mano-a-mano kind of parenting rule out, and what will the implications be? As it seems to work in this case, at least. Mariah nods. Deal. And puts out her hand to shake yours.
Okay. I just want to take so I have a question. What do you think's going on back at our place with Rebecca?
She sounded fine. There was nothing weird when I walked by there. I didn't hear any weird noises. It was just normal, everyday morning that I heard. Maybe we'll go check on her. We've got a few hours. It's 10 o'clock now, roughly. School doesn't let out till 3. We've got some time. We can go back and check on her, do some reconnaissance, try to figure this stuff out.
This is way better than going to school, Mariah says.
Well, I did want to investigate this area in the daytime as well. I don't know what you guys, if you remember, I don't know if this was 2 nights ago or last night. I mean, time is kind of funny. But I ran across these ruins and this whole, I played you guys the recording a couple of nights ago. I would love it if maybe we go to Bell Island at some point today as well.
Mariah looks up. You want to go to Bell Island? That place is haunted.
Well, not in the daytime.
Well, Mariah, didn't you like all this stuff? Were you and Ella Bell?
I like it, but...
Well, don't worry. You will have us there with you.
She doesn't look impressed.
When you were out there on Bell Island, did you notice anything like the monuments and stuff that were in that cemetery on the hill?
I don't remember what monuments on what cemetery on what hill.
Maybe you need to lay off some of that nose candy of yours.
Did I see any of those monuments at Annabelle's house?
Did you?
I didn't follow Drizzle, so
I know what
probably
you're
didn't
talking
see
about.
that stuff.
I know what you're talking about. We
At
saw
the top of the hill. Yeah, at the top of the hill.
So I did see that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, I wasn't clear on that. Oh yeah, those monuments. Those monuments.
The one with the statue that bled and the pool that splashed at you when you weren't looking. And me. That's what happened to me.
I didn't see.
I'm telling you, something's up with that. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, that was one of the creepiest things I've ever seen.
When you were in the van with Noel, did you partake in his nose candy as well?
No, of course not.
Well, it's still early morning. We could probably head over to Belle Island and check it out.
Well, it's raining. Maybe we'll wait till it's a little sunnier. So, but you guys make a. Let's go see Rebecca, or what is her name?
Yeah,
she was the lady that was here the night before, right? Yeah,
Hold
Rebecca.
Hold on. If you'll excuse me for a second, I walk back into the fancy.
You haven't left.
I haven't left. So I go over to the payphone.
Yeah.
And I put in a quarter.
Okay.
And I call up my supervisor at work. And I tell him I have a really, really, really bad case of the runs, and I'm not going to be in for a couple of days.
So it's only about 10 cents to make a call in the early 80s. As you do that, you get some change back.
It must have been something I ate. I try and keep it down a bit because, I'm right in the middle of a diner. Mm-hmm. And then if anyone hears me, I announce that. Oh no, it's not the diner. I'm just calling off because I don't want to go to work.
And the guy on the phone hears it.
It's after I hang up.
Oh.
That is exactly what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Look. I don't want to work anymore than anyone else. So I'm just calling in. It's all right. I'm not that important. I'll be fine.
There's a big fella at the bar. We'll say he's in his 40s. Maybe some kind of like laborer. What's his job?
Telephone repair.
Yeah. So he's wearing that's actually really nice. So he's wearing like the jumpsuit that they wear, and he's got it zipped down, kind of like firemen do. As he's sitting there eating, bacon and eggs and such. What is his name?
Larry.
Wayne.
Larry Wayne. Absolutely, that's his name. Larry Wayne. As Larry Wayne looks up, he's dunking the toast and the runny eggs and doing his thing. Absolutely listening to everything you're saying, Tony. As you mentioned, getting sick and having the shits. He's got his mouth full. As he's about to spit it out, and you say what?
No. It's not the diner. I just don't want to go to work. I'm just calling in. Look, you know how it is. You're union. I'm union. We're pulling a sickie. All right?
Oh yeah. I know all about what you're saying. I mean, he points a big, just thick fucking finger out the window. I'm supposed to be working right now. You think I'm going to work in this?
Right on. Stick it to the man.
That's right. Yeah. A lot of power has been going out lately. A lot of weird things. Dangerous work.
Yeah, but have you seen anything weird?
Well, I've seen people lose their fingers. One guy lost his whole hand.
What, like in your line of work?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
When you touch the wrong wire, you don't test it, you get sloppy. That's how you get hurt. One guy got struck by lightning on one of these buildings. The other night, actually.
Whoa, which building?
I don't know if I'm really supposed to say. It's in the news, maybe. I don't know. You see, he's maybe talking some guff. I just made that up. I don't even know what that word means. Anyway, yeah.
I heard about that too.
What?
I heard about that too.
Really?
Yeah, I heard it was in Grosse Pointe.
Well, what do you bid?
I'm not bidding anything. I'm just trying to see if it sticks.
Okay. So because you don't bid, it doesn't necessarily change the fiction. As he goes, no. Grosse Pointe, that place, that rich neighborhood, they don't have any problems. Although somebody got struck by lightning up there, I may not have a problem with it.
Yeah, fuck those people.
You see, or you hear Eunice go, hey, let's keep it civil. But yeah, more coffee, Larry. All right, what y'all doing?
I guess
Go see your friend Rebecca.
Yeah.
I mean, so the same weird stuff happened to you guys that happened to me, I think, that night. So, maybe there's a connection and a thread. In those photos I took the other night, with my camera of the TV screen, William, did they or Bill? Can I read any of those hieroglyphics that appeared on the TV screen in the photo?
I believe the only one that came out was the one of Eunice's reflection.
It was the one of.
Is that what you're talking about?
No, the hieroglyphics on the TV.
The only one out of those pictures I thought that came out was the one of Cloyce.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. That's the only one that did. Well done. You get a tip.
None of the. I don't remember that happening. I remember it happening differently.
Yeah, when you showed them to Leah.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like you could explain, and in fact, now that if you want to look at those photos, you can see what looks like writing on the TV, but it's not clear. It could be explained away, maybe as artifacts in the photos. But there is, as you look at it, looks like there may be writing in there.
Like when you first looked at them, they all looked like what you thought they looked. But when you showed them to Leah, none of them looked that way except for the picture of Cloyce.
Right.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh,
weird.
So are you investigating the photos?
Yeah, I was looking at the photos to see if there's any, with some clarity of a little sleep and a little, to see if there's any kind of, connection between any of those photos that kind of turned out.
What do you did?
Forensics.
And as you do this, how do you go about, describe what to them, what do they see you doing exactly? Well, other than just looking at the photo.
I don't think he wears glasses, so he's probably got, he's probably just way deep into the pages, just looking deep into it, and then he'll like move another, like look at another photo and then look another photo, and then back and forth just to see if there's any kind of connection or any kind of, something going on that any of them. I mean, they're all in different random places, but it was all kind of, and maybe, can I use that to trigger my sense of colors? Maybe I'll smell them a little bit.
Yeah, you just bid another trait to activate sense of colors.
Yeah. So I just use forensics to start it. So maybe I'll use my hieroglyphics ability?
Yeah, that would work. Sure. Go ahead and throw down. And do you have any upgrades on that sense of colors?
Yeah, there are 2.
So you have a +2 success to this already.
Okay. And so that's my mind and then
your action
and then action die.
Yep.
And so that is, I got a 10.
Oh, sure.
And so I got 3 successes.
All right, so you got Flare 2 on that 10. So you rolled 3 successes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and because of your scent of colors, you have an extra 2.
So it's 5.
So you get 5. So the threshold for this is 3, which means you have a narrative point because you beat it by 2. As you're sitting there, Nord, just like you said, just like you described, and maybe you two, Tony and Simon, happen to notice Nord doing this. Maybe you notice it for different reasons. Mariah is sitting there. She's got, again, her elbows on the table, head cradled in one of her hands, her palms, already watching Nord. Nord, you're specifically looking at the television. You see the other photos, they really could be explained away. The light from this woman on the beach, it's not necessarily a woman, it kind of looks like her. Thoughts may go through your head of seeing faces in trees and the clouds and such, Humans want to see faces and figures. You were pretty tired. Maybe you're getting a little frustrated because you know what you saw, you know what you experienced as you flip to the picture of the television. You see, the television itself is white noise, static, but you think it does look like there's some kind of scrawled writing in it. It's just not very clear. It's really not. Thinking about forensics, thinking about what you know about the supernatural, maybe there's the thought of perhaps this camera can't tune in to whatever you're experiencing in real life. Maybe that's why it's not taking the picture, right? And with the success that you got, you realize perhaps you can modify your camera to be able to do it. And one other thing. Maybe you overheard Larry Wayne talking about the electrical disturbances. Perhaps it pops back in your head that Simon and Tony mentioned that their TVs were blipping on and off. In fact, you're almost positive Rebecca Foster said something about it. Static, electromagnetic, static, lightning. These things start coalescing in your mind. You're wondering, that first night on the beach, it was before the storms hit. Maybe there's something to this. As lightning strikes, thunder peals. Maybe there is a connection there. I'll give you one more since you got the narrative point. Leah's television stayed on even after she unplugged it. Or it came back on.
Well, can I build another trait? I'm just burning through them right now.
Yeah, what do you want to? You can also drop a narrative point to change this.
Yeah, no. Can I use a narrative point?
Yeah, for what?
Oh, never mind. Okay, never mind. It's fine. It's just Nord is a technician. He knows cameras and knows electricity, knows a little bit about gear and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so he knows that, when you unplug a TV, it goes off. And
really
is wondering if there is maybe a battery source or something in her TV. Maybe she was bugged or something. Maybe there was, some other reason why the TV. Maybe there's a generator in her apartment. I don't know. I don't know if that any of that. It's just riffing.
Yeah. Do you say that out loud?
Yeah, I'll say that out loud.
So, Tony and Simon, you hear Nord muttering and sort of ranting to himself.
The generator bug thing makes sense. If Clovis is all in on this, and he got into her apartment.
Wait, didn't you say, Mariah says, didn't you say, and she hushes herself, didn't you say that guy's dead?
Yeah, we had.
Yeah, he went out the window. So.
Eunice is coming towards the table as you're still talking. Do you continue talking about this?
Eunice has already heard it because Leah said it.
So you keep on. And she gets close and she's pouring coffee into coffee mugs that are probably already filled. She says, yeah, I can keep Mom as the word, but if you got a dead guy on your hands. She kind of looks back and forth at you all.
He's not on our hands.
That was an accident. He fell off the fire escape.
Mariah says, I thought you all shot it.
And then he ran off.
I took a picture.
Now, we need to swing by there and check things out again.
You think?
Yeah, maybe we just go on the way, just see if there are some crime scene lines, and I think it's. I wasn't a big fan of leaving the crime scene. I'm guessing you guys weren't either.
So you like going back to the scene of the crime, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Mariah says, I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, I can tell you this. My car doesn't look like the way it used to look when it was there before.
Are you sure you don't want me to help you pull that tree that you've got wedged under your car?
I already did that before I came over here. Well, let's head out to the vehicle here and head over. See Rebecca. Unless you guys have something else you want to do before we go.
No, I want to go see her.
Another peal of thunder.
It doesn't sound like this rain's stopping anytime soon. Mariah, you're going to ride with me. We'll have to make a quick dash for the car to try not to get too wet.
No problem.
I'm
not scared of the rain.
Are you riding with Nord?
Yeah. It's the Tony and Nord show. Dun, driving with Nord is cool.
I make a cross on my chest.
As you guys leave the diner, we'll montage, unless you're going to do something specific, to rushing out into the rain. Simon, do you just let Mariah fend for herself, or are you doing?
I figured it's the 80s, so the door will be unlocked, right?
Oh yeah,
so,
of course.
Yeah, so I'll just run up and open the door real quick.
Tell me, high or low, did you leave the windows down?
Low.
Oh, you lucky sack of shit. Yeah, you had the windows up for once.
Well, it was raining last night, too. So, no.
As you get into the car, start her up. Same thing with Nord and Tony. And you all start heading back to Simon and Tony's apartment building. If you want to show the map, we'll montage to that. You guys can, in your respective cars, if you wish, you can soft role play, chat. Of course, there's no bidding during a montage. And if you have an advancement, you can spend it now. If you have more than one advancement. Does everybody have goals and everything?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to refill my coffee. You guys role play as the next encounter, I should say, starts with us going into the apartment building, and I'll be back in like a minute and a half. If somebody has to go pee or something, go ahead. Cool.
Can you, with an advancement, can you use that on your clothes?
Yeah, advancement. If you have an advancement, you can get a trace. You can add to ninja gear. It's called folding the story. You can get a proficiency. You can add an upgrade or an ability. Okay. I'll be back in like a minute and a half.
What do you think about Lady Callie? She was the weird one, isn't she?
Oh, this would be before we get to the cars, because you're in a different car than I am.
Oh, I am. I can't talk to you. You don't have car phones?
No.
I mean, seriously.
We could have this could be conversation before we get into the car. So before we leave out the diner.
Sounds good.
My opinion is that maybe she's one of the, not necessarily the ringleader, but maybe she's one orchestrating some of these takings of children. You know, like maybe she's like a
trafficker.
Like she's a scout.
Yeah.
It would be good.
Like
yeah, she hits the different houses up. She knows everybody. She can pick which ones that they're going to take. I don't think that they normally take the rich ones' kids, but maybe Gabby saw too much, and maybe that's why she ran away. It's because she was afraid she'd be taken because she saw too much information.
Sure.
Now, out of game, my character is just making a rational explanation for everything. So,
sure.
Ken, you know that, but Nord does not.
And then my other question is did we kill that woman? Or Cloyce, are you guys murdered? I mean, I didn't kill him, but I mean, I kind of felt like, you know. I didn't know he was dead. I didn't see anything happen. I mean, who shot him?
Leah shot him.
Leah shot him. I mean,
he was all hopped up on drugs. It was self-defense.
It was. I mean, I wasn't. You know, I just stepped in the apartment, and all of a sudden, like, I guess self-defense. He was in your house. You got a little going for
he
it. Definitely circumstances.
he threw Tony out the window.
Yeah.
And then she
He
shot him.
out the window. Okay, so yeah, it was self-defense. I didn't see that part either.
And then he shot him. She shot him, and he fell out the window as well. So it's self-defense. Like,
yeah. I mean, I don't do amphetamines. So, I've never seen a use for it. I mean, you try things once or twice or something like that. But,
you get
kind of Quaalude.
some of these people.
Yeah, well, Quaalude, it'll put you to sleep. It kind of knocks you out. I don't think those are Quaaludes. I mean, I was down for maybe an hour and a half. I mean, that stuff will knock you down for 7 hours. That was some bunk stuff, man.
you use some angel dust. That makes
No.
I've seen a guy on angel dust get shot 6 times and still come at us.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so he must have been hopped up on drugs.
I mean, the photos are grotesque. I mean, I couldn't tell. Is he a zombie? Was he just brutally murdered by being pushed off the building and shot a bunch of times? Who knows? You just can't tell. I mean, clearly it was self-defense, but
I think he was dead. I think he was dead, and I think he ran off.
Well,
he won't die and run off.
We decided that this was a conversation before leaving, so we could all still be together.
Cool.
And since we talked about it being self-defense because he threw Tony out the window. So well, I mean, he did. He threw Tony out the window. Then Leah shot him, and he fell out the window. And we're kind of telling that I'm going to say Eunice was there to hear that part. So we're talking about it being self-defense that he was attacking Tony.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I totally think he died and came back and ran away. My former employer was all about that.
Jesus had 3 days, man. 3 days. That dude
whole day.
Maybe he took a quick. Anyways.
So we hop into the cars and head off. I'm going to look at Mariah and be like, so those ladies with your father, were they the same lady all the time, or were they different ladies?
I honestly didn't pay too much attention, but I mean, I think there were at least 2 or 3. There was a blonde and a brunette, and then she kind of looks up, and as you say that, the answer is yes. Yeah, but it's been a while.
Well, try not to be like Rebecca when you grow older.
You should try not to be like my dad.
There's no problem there.
She doesn't say that. She says, that's exactly what she says, fuck it. She kind of, sits there, not moping, but because it's like she doesn't know what to think about any of this. Your windshield wipers are squeaking, womp, 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 womp. They need to be changed, as Mariah comments on that. And you pull up to your all's apartment building. Oh, it's such a nice place, she says. He kind of smiles at you a little bit.
PIs don't make the best money.
What's a PI?
Private investigator. It's what a lot of cops do when they decide not to be a cop anymore.
Oh. I mean, what?
Yeah.
She doesn't seem to understand.
People hire us to look into stuff. Like your mom hired me to help find your apartment, a place that was safe.
Oh.
Yeah. So, in all fair, Miss Courtney in apartment 3C of your place?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Her husband disappeared one time. Just don't stay away from her.
She nods. Okay. Nord and Tony, you pull up behind Buick. You all montage up, and what are you all doing as you enter the apartment building? What floor do you guys live on? I don't think we said it.
4th floor.
4th? All right. You're on the 4th floor? Let's remember that.
I'm writing it down.
Yeah, you're on the 4th floor as you're in a rather shitty place. You're in the Jefferson corridor, right?
Yeah.
Fuck that D12. We'll have Tony, would you roll a D12, and before you do, Simon, tell me high or low.
High.
All right, you go.
So 7 and up.
High.
All right, there is in fact an elevator that works. As you guys go up and talk amongst yourselves, I'm going to grab my D12 because this is a tabletop role-playing game. Ergo, someone has to roll a dice and it fall on the fucking floor.
So, how did you meet Rebecca? I mean, what's her deal?
She's our neighbor.
She's pretty spicy.
Well, she's a lady of the evening.
Yeah.
She's a little young. I try, she doesn't make the best decisions, and I try to look out for her a little bit. But
you probably know some of my coworkers, former coworkers.
From the sounds of the other night, they know you a little well too.
All right, so you guys are on the 4th floor. Ding, 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 ding.
Mariah, do you want to come with us when we talk to her, or would you rather?
Yeah, I'm not staying in the elevator.
No, or would you rather go to my apartment and watch TV while we talk to her?
I'd rather watch TV.
Okay. Now, my apartment's right next door to hers, so holler if there's any problem, and I can hear you and come running. And so I'll go and...
Yeah, go on.
And so I'll go and lock my door. I'll clean off a little bit of space from the thing and be like, I've got water and I've got Coke.
And she,
like one of those.
Do you smoke? Do you smoke indoors?
Sorry. That's what cops tend to do.
I'll have a Coke. Mom doesn't let me have Coke.
Hey, you're going to be hopped up in all kinds of caffeine, but that's fine. And I'll give her a Coke and turn on the TV.
Yeah, she pulls the knob and is turning the dial, to mess with channels.
Yeah. And so I'll go out and shut the door, and I'll knock on Rebecca's door.
Yep. All right. Nord, tell me high or low.
Low.
We'll have Simon rolled up. So 1 to 6.
You probably can hear everything.
Hi.
As you're knocking on the door, what were you saying, Nord?
Oh, I was just saying to Simon, you can hear everything, can't you?
She doesn't bring her clientele home.
Oh, okay.
As you're saying that, knocking on the door, as you hear okay. Just a second. Yeah. Who is it?
Hey, Rebecca, it's Simon. I was just checking on you.
Oh, hey, Simon. What's going on?
Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's just fine.
Okay. We just wanted to make sure you were fine since we left you at the diner and stuff last night. Make sure you made it home and there were no problems or anything.
Oh, no. Everything was fine. I got home okay. Do you need something?
Nope. Do you have company or something?
You hear the chain as she pops the door open. No. Everything's fine. You all want to come in? All of you? How many of them? What are you all doing out in the hallway?
Well, we were just curious if you were fine. We were checking about all the weird stuff that happened. They have some other weird.
You brought a whole party. You all want to come in for a drink? She's in like a nightgown.
Well, we'll come in for just a minute.
It's 10:30 in the morning, by the way.
I'll take a drink. I think that sounds good.
Yeah, come on in. Come on, boys. You all three walk into the resident hooker's room.
Yeah.
After depositing Leah's daughter in your room.
Do you have a porn we can watch first, or? I mean, you know.
So, Simon and Tony, you have a neighbor also named Tony. He's a Romanian, if you remember. Tell him to hi or low. We'll see if he has opened his door and is looking through people.
Low.
As you walk into Rebecca's apartment and she's shutting the door, you hear her say, "Oh, mind your own business, Tony." Yeah, what will you have? I've got vodka and spiced rum.
And maybe just a little bit of that rum. Neat would be nice.
She pads her way into the shitty linoleum kitchen and rolls out some drinks. She has it looks like pint glasses and tea glasses that are chipped as she's making some stuff. Yeah, you all make yourself a home. Make yourself a home. You notice the furniture all has sheets on it.
Is everything cleaned up from the other night?
Yeah.
Okay. If there's, I'm gonna kind of
at a cursory glance anyway.
Well, I'm gonna kind of look a little bit and to make sure that Tony got it all cleaned up because I left him to do it.
Indeed, you did.
So I'm just gonna kind of double check and make sure that there's.
What do you bid to do that?
I'm gonna bid observant.
Yep. I'm adding something for you all. Yeah, as you bid observant, describe how you're actually looking. How in depth are you investigating this?
Well, I'll walk into the living room and I'm kind of looking, just looking at the ground, and then I'll take my shoe and if her couches has the little layer thing at the bottom, and I'll kind of push it back a little bit so that way I can see a little to make sure there's no glass or nothing.
You'll know it's pretty cleaned up. You'll see a couple little chunks of glass that someone missed. Maybe going around looking, since you're down on the floor, it won't be shag carpet, but it'll be pretty long carpet.
Oh, well, I won't actually get down on the floor.
Oh, you won't? Okay.
No, I'm just kind of using my foot to kind of
Yeah.
And so then
you get a piece of glass in your foot.
On my shoe.
Yeah. You feel with your shoe a couple pieces of glass, and your foot kind of kicks something over, something hard and small.
Okay. So I'll pick up the little pieces of glass as I see them, and then when I kick over the hard thing, I will bend down and look at it.
As you get down on the level, you can see that the detritus, I keep on using that word, the stuff that had fallen when Rebecca had her episode has been shoved under different furniture and stuff. So it's cleaned by it just being out of sight.
Right.
Most of the glass and all that stuff has been picked up, but you can see like there's a cup that's on its side, rolled over under one of the chairs, and she. We'll say that it doesn't look like she's been here that long. Like, she doesn't just stay in her apartment and clean. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, she went and got a climb afterwards and has returned this morning.
Right. Something will you deduce correctly.
Yeah.
As you look under the couch for this hard thing, you see, dun, 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 dun. You see a black stone. It's smooth. It's spherical. Could fit in the palm of your hand. It looks like a miniature bowling ball, or a very large black pearl of sorts. Has a reflection to it. It looks like a tiny palantir.
What's a palantir?
It's a feeding stone in
okay. Okay.
Or palantir. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Does it look very valuable?
It's kind of hard to say. I mean, if it's a big piece of like, does Simon know anything about rocks?
I would.
It could be glass. You're not really sure.
Yeah.
Unless you are sure.
Like, I would know about stuff that would be pawned because I'm being a cop. I had to.
There's a chance it could be valuable.
Okay. I'll pick it up and hold on to it until Rebecca gets back in here.
As you
do that?
Yeah, and he's right there.
What's that?
That's looks like a little ball.
Do I glean anything off of it? Can I use my?
I'm gonna say since you had, granted it's a new encounter, but you actually used sense of colors earlier. Mm-hmm. We'll say that it's still active, just a little bit. Mm-hmm. Upon seeing this thing, you don't know what it is, of course, but unless you do, you do get a feeling like your hackles raise, like the hairs on the back of your neck stand up as you just see it. Simon, as you hold this thing, the electricity blips a couple times.
Oh, Stone's acting up again.
Rebecca comes back in with 4 drinks. She's made all of you drinks. Then she sits them down. Oh, don't you drink? You drink, don't you, Simon?
Well, I do, but I prefer my bourbon. Nord, you can have the spice rum.
Yeah, thanks.
I've got something like bourbon.
It's fine. We were just wanting to check on you. I've got my own bourbon right here.
And how about you, hotcakes?
You got rum?
She slides you a cup.
I drink it.
You all make yourself a home, or at home. I'm going to use the loo really quick, and then we can talk. I'd love to know what happened last night. As she saunters, she's got that sway innately in the hips. You notice that she goes into it's a pretty small apartment. She goes into her bedroom and kind of slips in and shuts the door.
Well, from the looks of it, she seems to be okay. So we'll just ask and double check and make sure. And if this rain lets up, we'll head over to your island and check it out.
We should check on our own apartments as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely curious to what we will find. I mean, I'm sure all the rain has washed away, any crime scene evidence at Leah's place, but probably see somebody burst through the window there. So weird. This is such an intense couple of days. What happened with Rebecca anyway? I mean, what was her? Why did she Were you guys together when this happened? When all of this,
Well, I was sitting in my apartment and I heard her scream.
Huh?
And I came over and I picked the lock and we came in, and she had thrown a cup at her table and shattered it. She said that the TV was acting strange, and so we hung out for a while. Tony said something weird happened in the kitchen, but then I left because I had to go speak to Idaway. I don't know what they got to while I was gone, but
absolutely nothing.
Yeah. The priest over here.
Former.
Really quick shout out to DJ Archangel. Hi, DJ. He was one of the Sixth House mages in the Kickstarter.
Oh.
And actually one of the only people that actually got a one-shot session to be run. So eventually, when he's ready, we can do a one-shot and he can play with us. It'd be really cool. Anyway, thanks for showing up, Archangel. Yeah. A few moments later, well, we'll say a few minutes later, Rebecca comes out. She's changed. Now she's in this flowing light blue dress with little slip-on shoes. Almost looks respectable, Simon, as she comes and sits down like a lady on this discount lazy boy. She moves some trash off of it first, and gets her rum. It's like a rum and coke. They're served in tea glasses as she's sitting there drinking it. So, where'd you all get off to when you abandoned me at the diner last night?
Well, in all fairness, Tony's the one who left you. She brought you.
I'm not abandoning you. You're at your place. I just
saying.
Well, we.
That's called abandoning. Abandon.
Okay, well, before we tell you where we went, and before we abandon you again, have you seen any more crazy runes just show up out of nowhere when the power goes out?
I don't know what a rune is.
Any writings?
I'll pull out the picture of the TV and I'll show it to her.
She looks Her eyes kind of widen a little bit. No, I haven't turned on the TV since that night.
Yeah,
You know, they say it melts your brain anyway. She kind of like looks at the TV, her eyes darting at it 2 or 3 times.
Do you ever go to that jazz club up the road? What was that?
Oh yeah. I've been there before. The Hideaway.
Yeah, the Hideaway. Yeah, we were thinking about. Is there a cover or anything? You just go and hang out, or?
To be honest, when I go, I'm usually in the company of someone, and they pay the cover.
Oh, nice.
So
why do you want to take me there?
Yeah, maybe we'll go on a date. Maybe tomorrow, or maybe later tonight, depending on where we're at.
She smiles.
This was in the floor. It looks a little valuable. I didn't know.
I'd be careful about touching that. That's a weird thing right there.
You guys can bid or throw down to notice something if you wish.
I'm going to bid Street Smart.
I would like to throw down.
Do it.
Is it just an aspect?
So it'd be your action die, which is a D10, and the aspect that you're going to use for it.
Mind?
Yep.
I'm going to bid Border Guard.
You got 2 successes.
As you got 2 successes, you get a narrative point, because all you needed was at least 1. Threshold is 0. Remember, you can only have 5 narrative points, or you need to start spending them.
Can I
go on?
Can I say I think I've seen that before? Unless you have an idea. I feel like I should let you talk with the narrative point.
Yeah, let me talk, and then we'll see if you can change it a little bit.
All right.
With Border Guard and what was the other one?
Very smart.
Street Smart. With Street Smart, Simon, you know when someone sees something they don't want to see. When a criminal is presented with certain evidence, for example, or just an uncomfortable situation. And Eunice and Rebecca definitely reacts in this manner. She hides it very well, but you know how she kind of shifts and closes herself off a little bit. Border Guard for Tony, it's a similar thing, except what you glean is she's not afraid of this item. She's afraid of maybe what it represents or what it reminds her of. So it's a similar kind of thing. You've seen people like with contraband. It's reminding her of something. Her eyes get a little bit wider. And Nord, you used mind, right? You just happen to note that when she sees this offered to her, kind of like the One Ring, she gets a little bit tense, and it's almost like she's forgotten it was there, or didn't know it was there.
This isn't yours. A client brought this, or this was found. You didn't expect this to be here. What? This is an artifact. Yeah.
Her mouth kind of drops a little bit. Her jaw drops, and then as you continue going, there's a look of confusion on her face.
Or is this a sexual?
That's You get a tip for that. That's not really. Come on. It's like the size of a baseball, she says.
And you put this where now?
DJ Archangel says, word, I'm excited. Will Gotham says, some poltergeist shit. Yeah, she stands up. Oh, since you guys have all made the bids and have seen this, you've kind of seen through her guise that she's uncomfortable. But she's acting like she's not. You can keep that if you want. Call it payment, Simon. You know, for checking on me.
I'll put it in my pocket.
I wouldn't put it so close to your naughty bits.
I think it'll be okay.
Oh, put it in your bag or something.
I need another drink. And she goes in the kitchen again and kills this and goes and gets some spice.
Maybe wash it off first.
All right, the action's on you all. What do you do?
Well, I think we should go to this jazz club and be, like, you know, cool later. I mean, we definitely need to talk to
you guys think we should go?
Levi.
We should probably go tonight, because if we can go tonight, it'll give us a day to check out wherever the masquerade is going to be. It'll give us some advance time.
I wonder if Rebecca's ever been.
I do know that I bet if we have some arm candy with us, we might be able to get in a little bit more, like Rolling Dude Steve, to this club. Unless we get Leah back, probably not. Like, they might not even let us in because, you know, we're a bunch of dudes.
We should probably see if Rebecca will go with us.
Yeah.
Rebecca comes back out with the bottle of rum and pours it. Where are we going?
Hideaway.
Oh, yeah, I'll go. She gives Nord a look and a wink.
We'll probably come back later. What time? You've been there before. What time does it start to get lively in there?
Oh, the Hideaway? It's best to be fashionably late, unless you're a really hard drinker, I suppose.
Let me ask.
10 o'clock? I wouldn't go
So,
before 10.
Let me ask. Do they look kindly upon people dressing up in costumes, especially on certain days?
She gives you a sidelong glance. I mean, it's a nightclub. I guess everybody dresses up a little bit. What do you mean masquerade?
Do you know anything about a masquerade coming up?
Sorry, hon. What's a masquerade?
It's where, like, people are wearing masks and, you know.
Oh, you're into that.
Usually in a really fancy place, and there are chandeliers and famous art paintings on the wall and like big rooms, potentially some illicit drugs.
You can,
I mean, that's fine.
You can bid or throw down.
I will, maybe I'll, golly, can I say, because I'm an addict?
DJ Archangel says, learning club culture in an RPG. Love it.
Because I'm an opium addict, I would imagine that I have some knowledge about, you know, sex cult clubs. Because
yeah.
it's like games, the low life, I've slummed it long enough in other places and towns, and I know basically that there's this party coming up. Who better to have than a prostitute? She maybe she got an invite. She's an attractive woman.
As you're saying all this stuff, asking or probing with these questions, you realize she knows what a masquerade is. She's likely been. She's playing a little coy with you, maybe because it's a secret thing. As she kind of gives you a wink, I mean, I would go. I would go if there was an opportunity to go. If you knew where it was. Yeah. Aren't these things kind of secret?
Oh, look, we'll figure it out. I mean, that's on us. But I bet we could get you an invite to the party. I bet they pay pretty well.
I'll probably need something to wear. As she kind of looks over at Simon. Something nicer than this.
Bank account. Is
that's
frozen?
Yeah, no. So, okay. Well, first off, let's see if we can get into it first. But we'll. How about tonight?
Tonight.
Well, not the masquerade. We're going to the hideaway tonight.
Oh.
Oh, tonight we're going out. We're gonna have some fun tonight. We'll get to know each other. It'll be great.
Yeah. What about if we come back around 9:45 and pick you up and head over to the hideaway this evening? We'll probably bring Leah with us.
Are you gonna bring her?
Yeah,
maybe.
Well,
I suppose that's okay.
Three guys and one girl.
I don't see
a little bit weird. 3 guys and 2 girls is not as bad.
Sure.
Indeed.
Well, maybe we drop the kid off with Leah because we're not taking Mariah. I mean, I feel like that's a crime.
Yeah, no, we won't take her.
A little past her bedtime.
Yep, she nods. She's drinking her rum. Rebecca has eased back in almost seamlessly. She's very practiced at the art of masking her emotions. She's just sort of curled up into this lazy boy like a cat.
Well, since you're
go on.
Well, since you're doing fine,
just because I'm doing fine doesn't mean I don't want company. What am I going to do all day?
Well, we've got to go check some stuff out. So
always on the run. And she pops up and goes over to the door, undoes all the locks. You note that she's locked the door completely up. She unlocks, the bolt and the chain and the door thing. Well, come back anytime you want. Anytime.
Yeah, we'll be back later this evening.
If you ever want to do some marketing and need a photo spread, I might be able to take some photos of you for trade, or for some money, you could probably use them and do something.
Yeah, we can talk.
Nord,
yeah,
come
let's
on.
do it. All right, see you. Good, great to meet you. I give her a big hug.
You do?
Nord, calm it down a little bit.
I'm just being friendly. You can't be friendly? I'm not feeling her up. It's just a hug.
As you get out into the hallway, you hear a thunk of a door on the opposite side of the hallway.
Little G said, photos for science.
For science! Indeed.
Hey, so let's get Mariah. Has the rain stopped?
As you listen, higher low.
Look.
Hi. Oh wait, who you
No.
asking?
You go.
Right. Hi.
As you listen, it sounds like the pitter-patter of some rain, and you hear distant thunder. Seems like the storm has probably passed. Or it's in a lull.
So, we should head over to Bell Island. Nord, since your van is very recognizable, you may want to drive straight there. I'll drive by Leah's house and see if there's anything going on. Not going to stop. I'm just going to drive by.
All right. I'll meet you at that rickety old bridge.
Okay. And I'll go over and get Mariah.
As you go back to your apartment, you other two, are you going directly to the van, or are you doing something prior?
Is Tony coming with me? I guess Tony's coming with me.
Yeah, I'm going with you. I think we just go straight to the van.
Okay,
Yeah.
You do not go to your apartment, correct, Tony?
No, I'll go and peek in real quick.
Tony, do you have a suit I can maybe borrow? I mean, you seem like a pretty. I mean, maybe Simon has one. I mean, you guys don't. I mean, Simon has like worn the same thing every day. At least I change my clothes sometimes.
So
I changed my clothes before I came to the fancy.
I have an
maybe we should work out some clothing for me, because I'm pretty sure that I don't have a lot of clothing. Before we leave, maybe I can see if either of these guys have some kind of dressier outfit for me to wear.
Ask them. Tony, as you're walking with Nord, you walk past Simon's room, and you get to yours. You get to the door, and you sit there talking to Nord about the suit. As you're unlocking it, you hear your television is on. You don't have the door open yet, though.
I open the door.
As Nord, you note that Tony kind of pauses for a second and then opens the door. Tony, are you going to bid anything? Or you just opening the door?
I'm just opening.
As he kind of jerks a little bit and opens the door real quick, maybe like he's heard something, he's noticed
Kramer
something.
style.
What'd you say?
Kramer style.
Kramer style. As you do, Tony, you notice the television is off. The apartment is seemingly as you've left it. Sofa sitting there. I imagine you got the coffee table. It looks very much like Rebecca's, just mildly cleaner in so much as you actually live here.
Yeah. I'm going to go and plug the TV.
Yeah, you do. Nord, you see him do that. There's a musty smell in here, Nord. The bachelor pad. But there's also smell of something rotting. Like a dead animal or something. Just faint. Maybe it's trash.
Can I
like a mouse
kind of look for it?
Yeah. What do you bid?
Maybe go into the kitchen and do I need to bid something or just kind of follow my?
You know, well, it's up to you. If you wanna take charge of the fiction or attempt to, then you bid. Otherwise, you're kind of like letting the fiction take charge of you. Both are fine.
Sure. I'm I feel like it's a bachelor pad and he's not a clean person. So I mean I don't really need to take charge. I feel like I'm good.
As you go to the kitchen, these kitchens, all of these apartments are pretty much the same. They're just mirror images of each other down the line. The kitchen, it's recessed. So you have like the main room, then you'll have like a bathroom and a bedroom that might have a bath in it. and then the living room goes right into the kitchen. There's like a little buffet looking thing. Just this tiny kitchen you can fit like 1-2 people in.
Sure.
So it's very dark.
Trash can?
Yeah.
Flip on the light and look at the trash, or see if the sink is full.
Right as this is happening, as it's dark, there's no window in here in the kitchen. As you walk in, the smell kind of hits you in the face. It's pretty pungent, potent smell. You hear some flies as you kind of search. And it's a new place, so you're like, your hand goes to where the light switch should be. Of course, it's not there. You go over here. It's fucking, where's the goddamn the light switch? You're kind of trying to find it. As you're not bidding anything. You're looking around. You hear some rustling in front of you.
Oh shit! Is that a rat?
Probably.
You got rats? I was gonna like maybe take out your trash, but I'm good on the rats, man. I take a step out of the kitchen.
As you take your step out of the kitchen to where some of the light is, you see, in fact, it's one of those weird layouts where the kitchen light is, you gotta like walk into the kitchen to flip it on.
Oh, all the way in?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want to do that. They're rats. All right, I'm gonna make a dash for the light. I'll just run in, flip the light, and then run back out. Maybe I'll grab. Is there like something I can bash a rat with not a lamp, but I don't know, something like a hammer.
There's a lamp for sure.
I don't want to use a lamp because it'll break the lamp.
Yeah,
maybe a big book, like a big book or a hammer or something around here.
Yeah. In fact, there is a big book. Let me see. You see, to your right is where the living room and the television and all that stuff is. To your left, there's this little bookshelf that Tony has that has a whole bunch of random books. Cursory glance, you notice things about like law and border patrol type shit. But you also see kind of sitting there like it was just placed precariously, like it could fall, is this dictionary-sized book, which you pick up.
Yeah.
And as you grab it, you notice it's got this like supple leather. It's black, like so dark red it almost looks black, and the leather is has designs written all over it. As you pick that up, and
well, I don't want to do an antique book. I mean, I feel like I have some respect for this guy. Maybe I'll just grab a big law book.
You grab a big law book.
I'll come back and look at this book here in a second after I manage the.
Tony, you note that that's not your book. As he sits this big Haas tome down, you've never seen it before in your life. As Nord, you grab a law book. It says like Detroit law, defunct. What do you do?
I'd say
I'm gonna run in. That's your point. I'm sorry.
I say go and kill a rat. That's not my book.
I'm gonna go after this rat. Or I'm gonna flip on the switch and then.
You run into the kitchen. You flip on the switch, turning. Throw the book at where the sound was. As the book, and as you've ever thrown a big book, it's hilarious. It flies through the air, slams on the ground, splays out, maybe a page or two, flies into the air. You see there's nothing on the floor at all, and the smell is faint, but it's no longer there. The kitchen is normal. There's some grubbiness around where Tony has just done like a cursory cleaning. There's only a few dishes in the sink.
Is the trash full?
No. Actually, the trash, as you look down and open up the little lid thing, you notice the trash is actually completely clean.
Wow.
It has a new bag and everything.
Weird. I'll go and take a look at that book.
Yeah, as you kind of look around, so there's the book that's splayed out on the ground. The kitchen actually looks rather clean. As you turn around and you start going back to the book. Simon, you get to your apartment. Unlocking the door. You hear the TV on. It's rather loud, the TV. The kind of loud that it could potentially annoy neighbors above or below you. As you're unlocking the door, we'll say that you have a couple locks, since you're a PI, a couple deadbolts. You note the sound, the channel the TV's on is the news. As you hear, the 11 o'clock a.m. Well, at this point, we'll say it's noon. The noon news. We're talking about the storms and, some chatter about a couple people being struck by lightning. There's a ship that's been lost in the lake, and people are looking for it. That kind of thing. The bridge to Bell Island is out. As you open the door, and you don't see Mariah. It's really loud, the TV.
Well, I'll go turn the TV down.
You turn it down. Your ears kind of ringing from it being so loud.
Mariah, are you in here? Where you at? Okay, I'll start looking for her.
Where you look?
Because it has I'll check the bedroom first.
Go to the bedroom.
See if maybe she's crashed.
You see your bed. Of course, not made up. And it looks like there's someone sleeping in the center of it. Under like a big pile of, blankets.
So I'll go check under the blankets and see if it's her.
As you go and investigate, pull up the blankets. You see just a bunch of pillows. As you remember, you'd kind of gotten up in a huff. Maybe you'd had a night of drinking and had just rolled around in bed, and just where the blankets have been folded up. That one pillow that you put between your knees, that's under there.
I'll check in the closet in this room. Just because, if she's hiding or something. Since I'm in the room, I'll go ahead and check the closet.
As your detective senses go off, and you realize, based on what's happened, maybe she's hiding. How do you do this? You just, you open up the doors of the closet.
I'll just do it normally, like I'm not.
Yeah. As you open it up, you see, it's a walk-in closet, and you've got all your various tweed jackets and such, and your PI shoes. And you can't see through the back. You have to get through this torrent of clothes, or mess of clothes, I should say. Doesn't look like she's in here. You maybe turn on the light.
Yeah.
See your bowling ball.
So I'll go out. Is the bathroom door shut?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll knock on it.
Ding, 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 ding.
Mariah, are you in there?
You don't hear anything as you're sitting there. You think you might hear dripping water in the bathtub.
Okay.
With water dripping into water.
Right. Is the door locked?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Mariah, are you? And I'll be louder this time. Are you okay in there?
You don't hear anything. Do you bid anything?
Oh. I'll bid cop.
All right. How do you do this like a cop?
Well, because I was thinking about like I'll do detective instead because that may make it.
How do you do this like a detective?
Because like I'll put my ear to the door and start to listen to see if I can hear anything else. So that way I can hear like.
It sounds like the water's dripping into a full bathtub.
Right. Well,
you might even hear like a slight current as someone may be moving in the bathtub, and a soft moan or a sigh, perhaps.
Okay. That basically bidding detective cop. Because I've been to places where people have committed suicide and stuff, so I could tell. Like if someone was alive, trying to hear if someone was alive in there, or if someone was
bidding
dead.
Detective. You don't hear someone dead in there, of course.
Right.
I mean, you don't know, but you do hear some kind of movement and some kind of moan in a full bathtub.
Okay. So, I'm assuming that this is the 80s. So it's one of those doors where you have the little hole in the thing.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
I'll
Big
go.
pins now.
Yeah, I'll go grab one of those. I'll unlock the door. I will open it just a little bit and be like, Mariah.
Hey, you hear? What are you doing?
Okay, well you weren't answering. I'm not opening the door.
You?
Okay. I just wanted to check and make sure you were okay.
Freak.
I'm not
I'm
opening
just
the door.
A bath.
Okay. As soon as you're done, we're going to go ahead and head to Bell Island. So let me know when you're done, and we'll head that way.
I don't want to go to Bell Island. She just sort of mutters to herself. Close the door. How'd you get it open? It was locked.
I was just worried that maybe you fell asleep in the tub. Didn't want you to drown. And I'll pull the door shut, and I will wait on Mariah to finish her bath.
You hear her in there grumbling a little bit, and start to get out and get ready.
I will say, the fresh towels are under the sink.
She grumbles, and a few moments later you hear her say, thanks. What are you two doing?
I say, by the way, where did this book come from? I go over and look at I mean, it's a law book. It looks like it's related to my job, but I don't care enough to have these things in my apartment.
Well, let's look at this little Necronomicon-looking book over here with a leather-bound, this thing is. I thought this is like a rare book, isn't it? I mean, it looks pretty unique, doesn't it? Leather-bound.
As you look at this book, yeah, it looks unique. It looks expensive. Not incredibly old, per se. You haven't opened it up or anything, but the front of it has all these swirls and circles, like concentric circles that are laid over each other, almost like a map of, almost like a Venn diagram.
Like the Olympics.
Yeah, kind of like the Olympics. There's little symbols, little odd squigglies and such. They're different from the Sumerian script. They kind of look reminiscent of something you've probably seen before. And let me see. Yeah, the pages on the side have that gold leaf to them, kind of like expensive Bibles do. You see, there's a couple ribbons, a black one and a red one, that are stuck in different pages. And motherfucker, sorry, my phone keeps ringing. Yeah, and it's a heavy book. It's like a good 5-6 pounds. Go on.
I'll tell you what. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to take this with me while we go to Bell Island. And while you're driving, I'm going to look over this and probably hunt it underneath all your other stuff. I don't think anyone's going to care to look through your stuff to find it. So.
Sure. Well, just crack it open real fast. Let's see what language it's an interesting looking book. Just like we don't have to read it right now, but this is fascinating. I mean, this is kind of like.
Go on.
I just love old books, or unique books at the very least. Maybe it's not the oldest book on the planet, but I mean the cover is fantastic.
Yeah, and I have no idea how it's got here.
Tony, as you're sitting there, which one of you has the book? Is holding the book?
I think Tony.
Me.
Tony, you're most of your attention is on this book. Nord, we'll say that you're standing with your back to the kitchen, or are you in the kitchen?
I just stepped out of the kitchen. I threw the law book. I turned the light on, and then realized.
Yeah, you're just right there. Both of you are right at the door jam. Nord, you do note that the light in the kitchen turns off on its own. You hear it click. You get a tip for that. As Tony, you're sitting there with the book. Maybe you don't notice the light. Maybe you do. One thing you did notice, though, your trash had been taken out. It was full when you left, and your kitchen looks really clean.
This is odd. I didn't pay anyone to do this.
This is your apartment, right?
You guys hear this strange sound. It's like metal on metal, and like a clicking sound. As your attention is brought to the front door, and you note the lock is locked and the chain is bolted, or the chain is attached.
I think my place is haunted.
Okay.
This is not normal.
Thunder, distant peals.
I just take a photo. Just pull my camera out. Just take a snapshot.
And in that moment, as you are blinded, Tony, by Nord's flash, you see, standing behind him, Cloyce in the darkness of your kitchen. That is where we're going to take a break.
Whoa.
It's me.
Whoa. Whoa.
It's me.
Whoa.
All right. So we'll take a 10-minute. Yeah. Means it's 9:15 right now. So 9:25. Yep. I'm gonna make some more coffee. I'm gonna find out who's calling me, and
Somebody loves you.
Nord, can you run some music? And
Can we go ahead and do
Simon,
an ad break?
yeah, would you do an ad break and also post in the chat? We'll be back at 9:25.
Okay.
All right, I'll see you guys then.